Today we're out here at the Shawnee State Park.
State Forest.
Is it State Forest?
Yeah, park and then forest.
And we're gonna just do a quick overnighter. See, Todd's got his snow shovel there. We were expecting more snow. There's snow in Columbus. There's not so much here. We're at this dam. Looks pretty new. Water level is down, and there's quite a bit of ice. It's pretty much all frozen. But I don't know, what is this, a trailhead?
This is the dam.
Well, the trailhead is down the road down there a little bit. We're just parked here. I don't know, Todd will have to shine a little more light on exactly where we're at in Shawnee and where we're going.
Yeah, we're on the southeast portion of Shawnee State Forest, West Portsmouth, Ohio. It's down by the Ohio River, and this is actually the largest state forest in the state of Ohio. It's in the state forest surrounds the state park. It's a really nice park, and this is known as the Little Smokies in this region of Ohio, kind of like it's where the Appalachian Plateau actually kind of starts, and then as you go south and then east into the Appalachian Mountains, as you go into portions of Kentucky, West Virginia, and then Virginia, and of course, you know, the Appalachians stretch from Maine all the way down to Georgia, but you've got a lot of the foothills here in South Ohio and in Kentucky. But yeah, this is the biggest state forest that we have in Ohio, and the elevation gains, as you can see, some of the hills over here where we're at, we're actually not that low, but there's about 400 to 500 foot gain if you were in the bottom of a reentrant to the top of the hills. So for Ohio, this is about as steep as you get.
Yeah, definitely for Ohio. But that's why I bring him along, because he's a wealth of knowledge. That's what I pay him for. So
Yeah, you don't. I haven't received any of those checks.
it's in the mail, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Got Jaxie, adventure dog, with us again for this trip.
Look at the camera, buddy.
Jaxie,
He's filming it.
you ready to go camping? So stay with us and get back to you when we get back on the trail here and see what kind of scenery we got. Again, it's Ohio, so it's probably not going to be too spectacular, but we just got some gear we're going to test out, and I got a different system that I'm going to try out this time, and we'll see how that works out for me today. I got my tent in the truck just in case I need to backtrack a couple miles and get it in case my system doesn't work out. So I'll show you that when we get to camp. So after a short walk in, we found our camp. It's really short. I mean, we probably walked, what, 10 minutes?
6/10 of a mile.
6/10 of a mile from the truck, but I mean, we probably 10-15 minutes max what we walked. So we found this little camp here. It's pretty sweet because we got a log in the background next to a fire pit. So we got a good place to sit, and I'll show you guys where I'm thinking about, and it looks pretty crude, but where I'm thinking about setting up my shelter. And the shelter that I've got that I'm going to try out for today, it's a new system. You know, I got some stuff for Christmas. I set it up once in the backyard, just kind of messing around with my son. But this is the first time I'm actually going to have it out in the woods. So what it is, I basically got my normal, my 15-degree Big Agnes sleeping bag, and then I've got a Climate Static V uninsulated air pad, and then I've got a Nemo Aura 20, I believe, insulated air pad, and then I've got a piece of reflective foam that I'm going to put right underneath my body to kind of reflect some heat back to me. And then over top of that, and in case it gets too cold, I have a fleece bag liner to put in my sleeping bag. But over top of that, I've got a military Gore-Tex bivy sack that I'm going to sleep in. And then I've got a grabber heat sheet reflective tarp that I'm going to put over top of me. Now it's supposed to rain tonight, so I was thinking about setting it, putting it up in a lean-to configuration, but I think I'm going to do kind of like an A-frame using my trekking poles and some paracord and some tent stakes. But I'll show you that. I'll show you the setup. You know, I'll try to take you through it a little bit. It's starting to sleet right now, so I might be in a hurry to get it set up, but I'll at least show you the final product. And but right here between these two logs here is where I'm going to end up sleeping, with my head up here and then my feet down below. So I fit in between them about perfect when I lay down. I'm about 6'2", and I got I don't know, 3 or 4 inches on either side of room, but it's slightly uphill, but it's about perfect. So we'll see. But I'm counting on sleeping pretty comfortable tonight. But Todd's over here. Todd's over here setting up his 2-man tent, his Marmot Ajax 2 tent that we've used on several trips. He took it to Boundary Waters. We both used it in Washington in the Cascades. It's a nice little tent. So him and Jax are going to sleep in there tonight, and we're going to get a fire going. We're going to saw down some wood and split it, and we'll do some clips of that too, the different knives and saws that we're using. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Should be a fairly comfortable night. Depends on how early it starts raining. Right now the sleet isn't too bad. We're not really getting wet or anything. So, but yeah, we'll see how the night goes. I am now. Jump jacks. All right, guys, so I got my my basic shelter set up. I decided to go with the lean-to configuration. So I got the grabber heat sheet tarp here, and held up on the front with my MSR trekking poles. And what I did was I just tied some paracord around it and ran it down to a stake on both sides. I did stake out this back corner and tie it down. However, the tarp was too long on this side to stake down, so I just put some rocks on it, and I put some rocks on the back edge here to kind of seal that off. I might throw some leaves on it. But next is to set up my Gore-Tex bivy right there, and that'll go right underneath. Throw my sleeping bag, sleeping pads in it, and should be good to go. And I'm in somewhat approximation to the fire here. I don't think it's close enough to add too much heat, but it might add a little bit of heat. Either way, just that reflective surface underneath is going to give me a little bit more warmth, but it's not supposed to get down too low. Maybe mid-20s tonight is probably about the lowest it's going to get, hopefully. So get the rest of the shelter set up, and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, guys, so essentially this is going to be my setup here. I'll take you through the layers. What I got down here, I have my Nemo Aura 20R insulated pad. Got my Climate Static V uninsulated pad here, and then this is just a thin roll of like foam insulation with the reflective side. It actually adds a good bit of heat when you're sleeping to your core. And then this is a Climate Pillow X. This thing's pretty awesome. It's got this V shape in here that kind of cradles your head, And then all that'll go in my big Agnes sleeping bag here. It'll all go down in the back panel here. And then that all will slide inside here. And then I haven't decided whether I want to put my fleece liner in there yet, but we'll see how cold it gets. And brought my REI down booties just in case I need them there. And that'll all go right underneath here. Should be a pretty comfortable night's sleeping, I would think. Todd relaxing his tent a little bit. What kind of setup you got there?
Well, as in what? Beginning end?
I don't know. What are you using?
Oh, this is a puppy dog. He's what keeps me warm. Silky Jacks.
You gonna keep him warm, Jacks?
He keeps me warm. That my 5 Degree Sierra Designs 600 fill bag, don't they, buddy? Yes, they do. Yeah. Nothing like goose down to keep you warm when it's cold outside.
Pretty tight quarters in here. I can't believe we both used this in Washington.
Oh, we have plenty of room.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
Oh, we have plenty of room.
We're just sitting here by the fire, chilling out, relaxing a little bit for the night. We just heard a bunch of coyotes, Sasquatch, whatever, out there. There's a road out there towards the road. And we were just talking about, you know, different things that we've heard being out camping. And what did we hear in what was it? Oh, Lake Vesuvius. What was that?
Chupacabra.
Chupacabra.
Squatch here and Chupacabra there.
And coyotes. And I was just talking about one time when I was camping with the family. I heard a bobcat and looked outside this tent and saw a bobcat about 20-30 feet from the tent, and it was growling at us. So got my setup right there, and it was growling at us, and I had to yell at it to get it to leave, and it ended up coming back, but it never attacked us, thank goodness. But yeah, we've heard all kinds of stuff out here. Nothing's come close though. I was in the mountains of Tennessee one time, and 3 or 4 coyotes had our tent surrounded, and we're probably, I don't know, 30 yards away maybe. And so that was kind of scary, but yeah, so, you know, hear all kinds of weird things out here. Hear things, think you hear things that you're not hearing, especially when you're in your tent and you can't see, and you don't know whether it's a leaf falling on your tent or you know, or an animal out there. Well, actually, when we were in Washington, Todd had his pack right outside the tent, and we heard some scratching, and then we finally opened up the tent, and a mouse had chewed through his the little pouch on his shoulder strap where he had a pack of crackers sitting, and
the only thing I forgot to put up.
Yep, the only piece of food that we forgot to hang. So, but yeah, it can get interesting, but yeah, if you want to leave a comment in the comment section below, let me know.
Chupacabra sightings.
Let me know what weird things that you've heard or seen, or what close encounters that you've had.
Aliens, ghosts.
Kind of be interesting to hear everybody's stories. So yeah, let me know. All right, guys, it's morning. Second day. Well, it's morning for us. It's kind of mid-morning, but I didn't sleep too well last night. I'll tell you why here in a minute. But so I tried to get as much in as I could. The reason why I didn't sleep too well is my whole tarp bivy setup is it's fun. It's a fun idea and concept, to kind of have like an improvised shelter and see how it does. I'd say how I was laying back here was fine. How I was laying was fine. It was a good incline. My feet actually rested against the log down here, so it was good to go. But number one, this is about maybe 3 feet from ground to tarp off the ground. So as it tapers down, I mean, you don't have any room at all. So basically, you don't. And the problem with it is when it's raining, like it was last night, you got to get under there to change and do everything, and there's just no room to do anything. But the biggest problem that I had was my bivy on the outside is dry. On the inside, however, is soaking wet because of all the condensation. So then my bag got soaking wet, and being a down bag, that doesn't fly too well. So that made it a little uncomfortable for me. And then then I had to get out and pee a couple times, and then getting out of there into the rain. Of course, obviously, whether it's a tent or a bivy, that's never fun. But so that was a problem last night. Didn't sleep too well. Got a headache now. Debating on whether to get something to eat. And then we'll probably head out of here in a couple hours. So once we get everything wrapped up. But yeah. So if you can come up with a better system than that as far as the tarp bivy thing, without the condensation, let me know, because I'd be interested to hear it. Huh? Yeah. Okay, so as Todd's packing up here, he's laying all his stuff out here on the log, kind of getting it organized so he knows what he's got, how it's going to go in his pack, how he's going to organize it in his pack. So I'll let Todd kind of talk to his gear a little bit and what he brought with him and what it is. Okay, well, inside my pack, I have this one-layer Gore-Tex ultralight. I believe this is Montbell. This is a Gore-Tex bivy, about 6 inches by 2.5, probably one of the lightest you can get. Didn't use it, but I brought it just in case. You always need to make sure your stuff stays dry. This is my Thermarest Neo Air. This is probably the best pad you can get on the market. Normally retails for about $150. I got it for $100 at Camp Moore because it was in a regular women's size. So you always want to look for the best deal that you can get, and that's a hell of a savings. So inside here, I've got some puffy shoes recommended by my partner in crime here.
I didn't like them. My feet got cold. So, and I had these on last night when I was sleeping, so I would rate that a 1 out of 5. This is actually my puffy jacket. It's a Montbell. It's a great insular layer, and I use it after a lot of events. For this particular camping session, I didn't use it, but what I did is I put it on top of my dog to keep him warm, and he loves it. So, you know, it's down, and it's going to keep you warm. Inside this sil nylon container, I brought a extra set of clothes, complete set of clothes, everything from socks, long johns, underwear, what have you, and a pullover. Because last time we came out in the winter time, we got wet, soaking wet. It was a lot worse than it was this time, and it rained. So always bring an extra set of clothes. Inside this is my dog's sleeping bag. He doesn't necessarily like it, which is why I have the down jacket. But we're going to work on an alternate to the sleeping bag that he actually likes. It's my Sierra Designs. This is a 5-degree sleeping bag, so it's pretty big and it's down-filled. I love this thing. This thing's pretty darn warm. So obviously it's fairly sizable and it takes up a lot of space. But if you're going to go camping in weather that's very cold or frigid, you're going to want that. The stuff sack here was what I have my rain jacket in. I always keep my rain jacket, if I'm not wearing it, in a waterproof stuff sack, because when you need it, you want the rain jacket to keep the water off of you. And if you don't have it in a stuff sack, it's going to be soaked and saturated. So, had that experience before, don't want to repeat it. This is just the bag for my tent. The tent's a Marmot Ajax 2, 2-person tent, pretty light, good tent. Tripod, got this at Walmart, pretty generic, pretty decent price. I think I paid maybe 25 bucks for it. Bahco, Bahco, Bahco! It's the Bahco Laplander. If you don't have a Bahco Laplander, you're not a man. Gotta cut wood. Got the Tops RTAK2 knife. Good chopper. We chopped a whole chunk of wood with it last night. So, without it, we wouldn't have been screwed as far as making a fire.
Chopped all this up here. And most of it was a lot larger than that. We burned a lot of it, but
Chad loves a fire.
Gotta have a fire. You're camping, gotta have a fire.
Rough wear approach pack. This is for my dog to carry his stuff. I believe it's about 900 cubic inches each side, thereabouts. You know, leash, food, snacks. I have water on this side. Didn't need the water because we had this creek, and the creek is moving, so he was able to drink from that. Got to have your AV, the GoPro. This is the GoPro 3 Black. I love this camera, although they're up to 4. Alaska sack with a bunch of batteries for both cameras, and if you look real well, there are lots of little dents and dings on this Alaska sack. There have been plenty of reviews of this. To be honest with you, if you put sharp objects like a battery with sharp corners, it will poke holes in this. So a lot of the reviews say it's a lot better than that. I've had 10 years of experience with it. I don't think it's all that, but it's probably the best on the market. Fuji XP camera. This thing's waterproof, drop proof. Although if you get in some extreme temperatures, I've been in 0-degree temperatures, it doesn't like to run when it gets that cold. Got my emergency NOAA radio. It works pretty good. We used it. We only used it primarily as the size that it is because we're not going that far. Primary headlamp, and a backup headlamp. Both have batteries attached to the back. That way you've got always have batteries for your headlamp. And I use luminescent tape so you can see it at night. That way when you're in your tent, you can find your headlamp. My Oakley's ribswear pack. I don't go outdoors without the ribswear pack. It's just an invaluable asset. I believe this model is 700 cubic inches. And just plenty of pockets, plenty of room to put stuff. Ribswear.com, check it out, buy one. I've got 4.
110 reviews on the internet about them.
Yes.
You can learn all about it.
This is a Locksack Splash Caddy. It's the exact same company as Locksack, or as the other bag. You know, got to have a case for your map. It's 1/24,000th topographical map to show you where you're going. You need a topo map to show you where you're going. Generic Nalgene bottles. I use this specifically and only for cooking, and the other clear ones I use for drinking. And if you'll notice, I have a little bit of reflective tape on that, and I put it on all my bottles. Reason is, if you drop it or it falls down a hill, at least you're going to be able to hit it with a flashlight at some point later and find it. Snow Peak cook kit with a I think this is Primus gas container. I have a MSR stove inside this, so you know I don't always use the container to eat from, but it's a good cook set. And got my food bagged up. I like to rebag everything as best I can, and I throw my trash inside the bag. You can see I've got my own little Mylar bags. When I repackage, I'll put them inside the Mylar bags. That way it's less equipment that I have to deal with for the food. And I've got this Osprey Talon 44. I have all the packs in the Talon series but the 33, and to be honest with you, they're okay, but they don't always adjust properly to your size. They only come in two sizes, a medium large and a small medium. I really prefer a medium, but overall I've used it in a couple of different trips. It has a zipper compartment, although it's a rucksack, so pretty much everything goes down to the bottom to begin with anyway. So that's kind of what you've got. That's what I brought. We're out of here.
Alright guys, we're on our way out. Todd and I just got done doing a little bit of land nav with the map and the compass, and finding a few different landmarks and stuff. So did that for about 45 minutes or so. So we're headed out. We don't got a far walk out, but it's cold, it's rainy, as it has been most of this trip. But we got to get home, and well, at least I have to get home. There's kind of a big game on tonight. Ohio State versus Oregon national championship. So, like I said, it's Monday afternoon. We're headed home, and got to stock up on some chips and dip and some Yingling. So, gotta get home for that. But hasn't been a bad trip. It's definitely some lessons learned as far as you know, setups and gear and stuff. You know, some of the new gear that I got, I wanted to try out, and so definitely some lessons learned, but some good lessons, and all in all, I enjoyed it. So I'll probably see you guys back at the car. All right, guys, we're back to the truck. We're getting loaded up here. We're getting ready to head home. But you know, it's been a good trip. Like I said before, lessons learned, and that's why we come out here, you know. So I just want to thank you guys for joining us again for, you know, this quick overnight trip out here with some camping, some gear testing, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys soon for another adventure. Thank you.